What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a great morning. It is April the 3rd, and the Kentucky Derby is still going on. And guess what? Despite that we saw all of this downward pressure for the Ethereum or the Bitcoin ETFs, guess what? Positive net inflows again. So you might be asking yourself, well, why is the market dipping if that's the case? Well, the answer to that, manipulation. That's what happens when you see. I told you yesterday that there was something going on. I didn't know what it was. There was something in the underlying, there's some kind of manipulation happening. You can see it, right? The net outflow was only 85 million on that first day. The net outflow was 85 million in one day, but it reversed in the next day. This is all manipulation. This is just, and by the way, some of this manipulation is not just pure manipulation of the market. There are pieces and factors that go into place. The 10-year bond yields have gone up to 4.4 cents or 4.4%, which is another big increase in bond yields, meaning that people are high dollar people are being risk on or risk off with that because they're looking at easy money at 4.4% interest. It's $44,000 off of every $1 million that you have guaranteed, as opposed to, again, if you look at it, had you put your money into Bitcoin 3 years ago, then you would only be up right now. So when you're looking for that more immediate number, that's what you're seeing. So, but there's a lot going on in the market. Grayscale drops a bombshell report. Machine learning algorithm gives us a Bitcoin prediction. There could be a deeper pullback. Ethereum might be struggling to keep 3,000, and the SEC is now asking for public comments on the Grayscale, Bitwise, and Fidelity spot Ethereum ETFs. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, if you good morning, then good morning. If you don't good morning, then good morning to you anyway. But make sure that you hit good morning, and make sure that you hit the like button on your way in. Helps push me up in the algorithm and gets more people in here involved. Jay Locke says good morning. Blockchain Bonehead in the house. Good morning. Brian Bootyhead is here. Mike Volmer, Richard Caldwell. We've got Masonic Mike, top of the morning. George Garcia is in the house. Good morning. Dude Tyler is in the house. We've got Daniel Delgado in the house. Good morning. Jeff Miller's here. Aaron Thompson. We got Crypto Antagonist is here for all the bozos and the smokes. Flooding and tornadoes in Ohio. Everybody be safe in Ohio. Anyone figure out the Bend staking? Well, it hasn't been announced, Richard. So the people that are going there might be screwing up and losing all their Ben because they're doing it without it. I mean, it's not ready. So maybe just you haven't seen Cassie say, hey, you can start staking. You haven't seen Ben say, hey, you can start staking. You haven't seen me say, hey, you can start staking. Somebody just saw it on the website and just decided, fuck it, let's see what happens. And if you get wrecked on that, that would be a bad move. So maybe just wait for an official announcement. There's no reward for being first, by the way. Mike Bowler says, good morning to everyone. I got a stupid work meeting, so I won't be around today. RW7610, good morning. We got Games, Hodling, good morning. Tony P's in the house, good morning. Poe's here, good morning. Raymond Pritchard, where is altcoins? It's a very good question, and I actually have an answer for you today of all days. Good morning from Perplexed. Good morning, Eddie C. John Doe. ETFs just went green. Chad Dominic is in the house. XRP overtakes Bitcoin. I don't know if that's going to be the case. That'd be interesting to see, but I don't think so. I think if any chain is going to overtake, it's still going to be Ethereum because of all of the layer twos, and then maybe even Solana is going to pass it up. There's a lot of people like Solana right now. Trail Boss in the house. Good morning. Shane Jordan. Good morning. Love the new time. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Big E ETH. What is it going on, my man? Alex Kamina is in the house. What's happening? Mike Lowry. If you guys don't know, that's Will Smith. So I hope that Jada is not beating him right now. Duke Juan is in the house. Nice calming title. That's exactly what I'm doing there, right? So JC is in the house. Edub Tavai is in the house. I'm not even going to try Belarja Bikini video. All right, whatever. Hello, I'm Indonesia. Well, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you CK, that's dirty. Rick Pennington's in the house. And we got Crypto Conservative, throw out an under $1 million market cap ETH play that'll 10x over the next week. Don't we all want to see one of those? I mean, we'll check it out and we'll dig in and we'll see what it is that we can find. But let's move on here, guys, because we got news about Bitcoin. There is a machine learning algorithm that predicted the Bitcoin price, and they predicted stupidly the immediate support level is identified as 63,119, and the optimistic resistance level is 68.85. According to predictions from the AI algorithm, Bitcoin is expected to see a slight adjustment to around 65,417 at the end of April, marking a noticeable decrease from its present valuation, which is not exactly true, but it is saying that it does consider that 65,000, which, by the way, we are currently trading at 66,700. The market just woke up and started ripping this morning. It's been pretty down. It was up 36 billion overnight, ran back down, and then came back up. Yes, sir. Believes the Wiener Man says that he wants to box Lady Frame. Can you imagine that now you're known as Lady Frame everywhere just because of little old me? Doesn't that suck? Look, doesn't it suck? Like, I mean, you know, he's going home at night, and I swear to God, if his wife calls him Lady Frame, I would fall over laughing. You know what I mean? And she was like, "What's up, Lady Frame?" Oh, God damn it. Anyway, so machine learning algorithm says that Bitcoin is going to says that Bitcoin is just basically going to range right now, which actually makes sense, by the way. I do want to say that it does make sense that Bitcoin would range for right now, because we're at the moment right now where the halving is coming. Generally, it's 30, 60 days after the halving that we really start to see something manifest itself. So it's very possible that we're only going to see that. So I would, it seems wild that I'm going to be, because I'm the big bull here, right? But I'm going to say, you know what? They're probably right. They're probably actually right. But not to be outdone here, Grayscale drops a bombshell report and says that the crypto bull run progresses to the middle phase. So Grayscale's report starts by highlighting several key signals indicating that the market is currently in the middle of a bull run. These include Bitcoin's price surpassing its all-time high before the halving event, the total crypto market cap reaching its previous peak, and the growing attention from TradFi towards meme coins. To understand how long this rally might sustain, Grayscale emphasizes two specific price drivers: spot Bitcoin ETF inflows and strong on-chain fundamentals. Grayscale notes that nearly 12 billion has flowed into Bitcoin ETF in just 3 months, indicating significant pent-up retail demand. Moreover, ETF inflows have consistently exceeded Bitcoin issuance, creating upward price pressure due to the demand-supply imbalance. Grayscale's research focuses on 3 critical on-chain metrics: stablecoin inflow, decentralized finance, and total value locked in Bitcoin outflow from exchanges. According to Miles Dutcher, the increase in stablecoin supply, really? This came from Miles? No shit. All right, so I didn't know that. According to Miles, the increase in stablecoin supply across the CEXs and DEXs by approximately 6% in February and March suggests enhanced liquidity, making more capital readily available for trading. Furthermore, for the analysts, the doubling of the total value locked into DeFi since 2023 represents growing user engagement, increased liquidity, and improved user experience within the DeFi ecosystem. The outflow from exchanges, which currently accounts for about 12% of Bitcoin circulating supply, indicate rising investor confidence in Bitcoin's value and a preference for holding rather than selling. Based on these catalysts, Grayscale asserts that the market is in the mid phase of the bull run, likening it to the fifth inning in baseball. And also, by the way, look at this. This is search. The searches for Bitcoin on or crypto on Google Trend Score, and you can see how dead it was for that extended period of time. Relative interest very low. Then you got that big spike when we were really kind of mooning. That big spike right there is probably Dogecoin. When the Doge and SHIB hype were really at its peak, and that was that. Then we got that secondary blow off top later on. But now look at it. We're starting to get that big spike. This is one of the four. This is the fourth or fifth highest real spike that we've ever seen in it. So there is there is some return to crypto for a lot of people. Retail interest has yet to fully return, as evidenced by lower cryptocurrency YouTube subscription rates and reduced Google Trends. However, it's continuing to build up. You can see over here that it's starting to get a little better, a little better, a little better. So interesting play happening right there. Also, a deeper pullback ahead for Bitcoin. That's the question right now. U.S. government just moved $2 billion worth of Bitcoin that it seized from Silk Road to Coinbase Prime. So according to blockchain data, a wallet tagged as belonging to the U.S. Department of Justice on April 2nd started transferring some of the 30,174 Bitcoin, equivalent to $2 billion, to a wallet believed to be a digital asset exchange on Coinbase. On-chain sleuth Zach XBT said in a post on X that the feds first sent a small test transaction of 0.001 Bitcoin before roughly 2,000 was moved. So government-owned Bitcoin is always intriguing for crypto enthusiasts. This is because when such a gargantuan stashes of Bitcoin get transferred, it has previously caused a slump across all major cryptocurrencies, as pointed out by pundits. The price of Bitcoin faced intense selling pressure yesterday, dipping below 65,000 for the first time since March 24, amid renewed outflow from Grayscale. However, traders seem to be unperturbed by renewed concerns of selling pressure with the U.S. authorities, with the premier crypto up 0.1% in the last hour to trade a little over 66,000 at the time of publication, now trading at 66,500, continuing its positive momentum. And by the way, I might add, Solana ripping right now up almost 5% on the day. Ethereum is up right now 2.5% on the day. Myro is up 6% on the day. Avik Pay is up 9% on the day. Crypto.com is up 8%. Conflux is up 5.5%. We're getting a quick reversal right now. Jupiter is up 7% on the day. Near Protocol is up over 10% right now. Luna Classic's up 2.5%. So we're starting to see a little turnaround in the market. The U.S. market seems to be in buy mode, which is a pretty good sign overall. So I think that's I think that could be a really cool thing if it continues. So Ethereum. So the question that I've been telling, the answer, I should say, we've been talking about. Crypto J said, "Who longed Bitcoin and got it right?" I did. I got in at 64,900 last night, $300. Let's see where it goes. So who knows? But Ethereum. So Ethereum holders forget hitting 4K. Will Ethereum's price hold on to 3K? Now, I want to say that there's a little bit of a weird there's a weird duality happening right now where Larry Fink and Cathie Wood have both said that they expect that the Ethereum ETF is going to be approved. However, James Seifert and Eric Balchunas have been saying that they only have 25% confidence in it being approved because there's been no engagement. The SEC has not been engaging people. Well, Larry Fink and Cathie Woods both said the same thing. They said, well, listen, there's no reason for them to engage with us anymore because all of the questions that needed to be answered were answered with the Bitcoin ETF. So now the questions that they had to have answered, we actually did when we sent our proposals in. So now we have in-kind transactions. We have everything that the SEC wanted for Bitcoin We put that into Ethereum when we submitted our proposals, and then we've updated our 19B forms. So now we're in a much more positive space, and the SEC doesn't need to engage with us. Well, along with that, the SEC just announced that they are opening up for public discussion. They're issuing for public comments, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But it looks to me like it's going to happen. Nonetheless, we do have articles like this that are popping up that say, we could be testing under 3,000. So, and what we're talking about here is that there's the bear pennant or the demand zone. Who will win this round? So we have the bear pennant playing out right now, but we do have a breakdown. By the way, the important part to this was this move right here. We were getting this higher lows, and we were getting this wedge pattern ready to break out. Now, typically they do break to the upside, but in this case, it broke to the downside. Could be just the broader crypto market. We're in that zone though for buy pressure. Now, what does that look like? Well, we dipped down to 32, almost to 31, 3207 is where we bounced off of. By the way, one of the areas that I gave you a while back that would probably be the zone of the zone where we would bounce off of, and it was a strong bounce so far. We're up to 3352 as of right now. So the market does seem to be in a pretty positive state for reversal, with a move back up to 35, probably expected over that period of time. This is the point of control right here at this upper edge. So I would consider that we're probably on the move back in there. We saw net inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs. So we're probably going to get some positive move in that direction. So along with this, however, was this little nugget. The SEC is now asking for public comment for Grayscale, Bitwise, and Fidelity Spot ETFs. On Tuesday, the agency asked for public comments on 3 proposed ETFs, the Fidelity ETF Fund, Grayscale Ethereum, and Bitwise. Optimism about the agency approving those products has decreased as Bloomberg says silence from the SEC isn't good news. Now, the Bloomberg analyst, by the way, is James Seifert. So these are the guys that are quote unquote in the know, or Eric Balchunas. I'm sorry, Eric Balchunas is the one that works for Bloomberg. On Tuesday, the agency asked for public comment on 3 proposed ETFs. The commission is publishing this notice to solicit comments from the proposed rule change as modified by amendment number 1 from the interested parties. Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas has since dropped his estimate of the chance of a spot ETF approval from 70% down to 30%. James Seifert, fellow ETF, oh my God, they both work with Bloomberg. I didn't even, shit. Weighed in on Tuesday on Fidelity's. I've been tagged in this tweet and a bunch of others regarding the 19B4 documents filed by the Ethereum ETF. Nothing in the filing signals to me that anything has changed. Silence from the SEC isn't a good thing here. Now, the question that you have to ask yourself is, why is it that Larry Fink seems to be real confident about it, but James and Eric are not? Are they not paying attention to the broader signal, or are they the ones that are actually in tune? And Larry Fink is tuned out because he always wins. I mean, that is a valid question to probably ask about this over the next little while, because it's weird that there's such a positivity coming out of Larry Fink, but a negativity coming out of Bloomberg analysts. So we'll see how this plays out. So just be watching out for that. Now, one of the weird things here is, when is altcoin season? Somebody was just asking that question in chat, by the way. And if you want altcoin season, type in hashtag alt in the comment section, because we really would like to see an altcoin season, wouldn't we? Everybody wants to just get fat on the hog, make a bunch of money, and just be like, YOLO, baby. So venture capitalists, venture capitalists bet big on alt season. Paradigm reportedly targets $850 million raised. Paradigm aims to raise $850 million, signaling a bullish outlook for altcoins, co-founded by Coinbase and Sequoia execs. After the 2022 market crash, VC interest revives, with Paradigm potentially setting a new fund record post-crypto downturn. Now, and by the way, it does have to, we do have to say, not only are these VC companies looking at altcoins, they're looking at meme coins. I mean, if you remember Pepe, if you remember Bob, if you remember Lambo, if you remember all of those other meme coins from last year, those were all venture capital pumps. And, dare I say it, if I go down the list over here, of some of these tokens that have just absolutely ripped, then we look at MVP over here. MVP up 17% on the day. This is Trump's VP. We have Trump pumping up to 468. That has got to be a VC pump, by the way. 217 million market cap, but this big rip up here, it's got to be VC money coming in and doing that. When you looked at the original Jesus, when it pumped really big not that long ago, same thing. Is Myro part of a VC pump? 264 million market cap, 3.82 million in liquidity. Coming up into this range. Is it natural, or is it VC companies coming in and pumping these bags? Grok, same thing. If you remember, Grok had that really big that really big early on run. Hasn't recaptured it yet, but it had that really big early on run. Same thing. Like, is that what it is? And then, this is the one right here. Dog with Hat, trading at almost $4 right now, has a $4 billion market cap, just continuing to soar and mint new highs and new highs and new highs and new highs. And that to me looks like that's got to be venture capital money coming in here. And then when you see these big sell-offs, that's just VC taking their money back out and getting everybody to start, it's over. And then it comes back down, and then boom, it takes off again. Like, you don't prop something up like this unless there's something to it. You know what I mean? So maybe, just maybe, there is some VC money that's entered the arena, and we're watching it play out. So anyway, venture capital arena and crypto sector has been tumultuous. According to Bloomberg, Paradigm's potential new fund is poised to become the largest since the market's crash. This move is reminiscent of a peak in May 22 when Andreessen Horowitz set a record with a $4.5 billion fund. Despite the sharp market correction that followed, Bitcoin and the broader market have restarted the bull rally. Paradigm has set a record with $2.5 billion in funding in 2021, highlighting the sector's cyclical investment needs. Paradigm has continued to invest in promising projects such as Farcaster Social Media, developed by Merkle Manufacturing, valuing the startup at around $1 billion. Along with SocialFi, another hot narrative for 2024 is the amalgamation of AI and crypto projects. Hence, the community believes that this sector will receive heavy VC. The VCs that missed the pumps on meme coins to start multi-billion-dollar market caps will FOMO into AI to start another parabolic wave. So, and there you have it right there. The VCs that missed the pumps on meme coins are going to move into AI. As 2024 convinced, by the way, just because these guys are saying it does not mean that they actually will go into AI. It does not mean that they're going into AI, but it's certainly a possibility. It's one of those sectors of the market that seems to be ready for that breakout. Concurrently, A16Z has injected $75 million into Web3 gaming startups via its Speedrun fund, highlighting the sector's rising potential. Further invigorating the market, Mark Andreessen, alongside Accolade Partners and Galaxy Digital, partnered with 1KX to create a new $75 million fund. This collaboration is indicative of the market's ongoing recovery and the rising optimism among investors. Despite the market uptick, venture capital investment in crypto remains cautious. The flow of venture funds typically trails behind token price movement. So there's certainly some opportunity here for something really positive to happen in this arena, and these VC companies are going to bring it in. But guys, I do have to stress, and I'm as honestly as I can, don't be the one holding the bag. Okay. Don't be afraid to take profit along the way. Don't be afraid to just cash it out and play the dip. And as evidence of this, remember, we were talking about Bitcoin at 70,000 the other day, right? So if you cashed out whatever it was that you had, and you cashed out around 70,000, it came back down to 64,000. You were able to ape in and get yourself a discount on your Bitcoin and to put yourself back in and continue to move along. And of course, you should have two bags. You should have your long-term HODL bag, which you move stuff into, and then you should have the one that you play with, if you in fact play, and use that to build more and build more and build more, and then move that, move your winnings, your earnings into your more permanent long-term HODL bags. I mean, it's pretty simple to do at this point. All you have to do is just win more than you lose. That's it. Just win 55% of the time. Bo Mason doesn't know shit about crypto. He manages real estate. So, but I mean, maybe, he's really good at it, driving his 6 kids around or whatever the fuck he says. But Yeah. So, and by the way, I hope you guys had a good time listening to that the other day, because that was some wildness. You know what I mean? That was some wildness. Anyway, so Solana institutional appeal skyrockets, and then we get into Neko. By the way, Neko is actually up 20% on the day. Right now, it's up 17%. Sorry, 49.18. Was actually pumping a little bit higher a few hours ago. Started to have a nice little run. We got a little bit of a sell down here, market correction, if you will, as the market, it went up to 53.41, 54.26. Here we go. It was in that 5,400 range overnight. Looked like it was getting a nice little pump going. And then, of course, you had a little bit of profit taking, which is, I mean, it's just something that happens in these markets, especially when people are nervous. Bitcoin continuing its pump and it's soaring. So if you haven't already, go check out Neko. Definitely going to be $1 million market cap item. That's about 3x from where it is right now, which is, I mean, that's not, and that's not a lot. It was almost there. Just a few short, just a few short days ago. So that little correction right there, corrected to a higher, by the way, if you look at this, it corrected to a higher low. Higher low is what you want to see, because that's when the higher highs come in. So I think that you're going to see Neko probably have a little bit of a lift off at some point pretty soon. A nice little breakout up here and drop that zero once and for all. That's, I think, what it's looking to do. And look, if it goes to a 5 million market cap, that's going to be about, what's 15x from here. You know what I mean? And I mean, who doesn't want to earn 15x on just a $5 million market cap? And when you go through this market, by the way, it should be noted that if you go through and you look at doesn't have a huge amount of liquidity, but it's got it's okay. But it's got a $700 million market cap. You got Hobbs over here, which is a cat, $98 million market cap. So, the cat memes are starting to come around, which means that it's going to, it's going to have its moment. There's a pop cat over here, 262 million with 5 million in liquidity. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff that are popping off right now. Nub, which is another cat one, 66 million market cap, 1.8 million in liquidity. So there's some things that are popping off right now. So just a matter of finding your little niche and getting that opportunity and then taking advantage of it. So check out Neko if you haven't already. Also, Bencoin. So staking is available on Bencoin, but it's not been announced yet. And if it hasn't been announced, you shouldn't be doing it. It's apparently, if you go to benfi.io, then it's there, but they haven't made an announcement, which means they're probably testing it. They're probably getting it onto the website and stuff like that. So I've had people reach out to me, multiple people right now reach out to me and talk about it. And like, we probably shouldn't put our money in it until it's ready. When we know that it's ready, then there you go. It's going to be, look, don't lose your bag because you can't have a little bit of patience. There's no reward for being first. Anyway, so also Bencoins are now available on 650 different ATM machines across the country in 28 plus states. That's actually a huge number. So, and Ben is wrapped around those things. So, mass adoption is coming, and it's coming through Bencoin, and it's coming through these BTM machines. And that's just the start. That's just the start of a little rollout. This is nothing, huge. This is nothing big. This is just something to broaden your ability to buy Bencoin. Then, the real pump is going to start, because marketing hasn't even really begun yet. We haven't even really done a whole lot. Our Coinbase partnering with Lightning Network with Bitcoin Bullish, they're going to have to, because we've had developers that are walking away from the Lightning Network right now. I don't think that Lightning Network has a chance unless somebody like Coinbase gets behind it, because people are really not liking the difficulty and the issues that there are with Lightning Network right now. Despite that it was supposed to be something incredible, it just really is kind of slow. So, you know what I mean? And yes, it is. It's not a standard trading platform. So the other one was Terra Luna Classic, Duquan. Okay, so there is a guy that is part of Duquan. God damn it. All right, so we're getting information about Duquan. And by the way, I've been a defender of Duquan for all of this period of time. And I've said, maybe I would like to believe the best that he wasn't really the bad guy in this. But the more that gets released, the more he's starting to look like the bad guy. And in fact, a lot of people are saying that he was lying to investors, which is why the SEC has sued him, because Jump Trading, one of the people that made $1 billion off of the collapse of Terra Luna, also was one of them that propped it up in May of 2021, which is probably why they had so much and they were in a position to do that. However, the statement that came out in May of 2021 is that the algorithm would take care of it, but it was not the algorithm that was taking care of it. It was actually Jump Crypto Trading that came in and bought all of the UST to kind of hold on to it in order to make in order to keep it stabilized. So that was a very, very weird sort of thing, and that we're learning it now. And maybe I'll do something like that with Luna Classic. Maybe I'll read some of the transcripts so you guys can see kind of what's going on really with Luna Classic, or what happened with Luna Classic, because it's really kind of interesting to see all of the commentary and all of the stuff that's kind of playing out in this regard. Very, very wild if you read through it. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know about it. By the way, Myro, it looks like, is up about 9% now, having a nice little recovery, and so is Sol. Sol's back up over $190. So it looks like the Solana ecosystem is starting to pump. Dog with Hat just made a move; it's up 3.5%. So and Trail Boss with the second bomb. Okay, Doge on Solana. Let's get over here to Doges, because what did we say yesterday? We said that Doges was gonna what? It's up again today. Doge's on Solana is continuing its move, upward trajectory, up 69% on the day. And I mean, guys, like, this is your opportunity. 1.91 million market cap, 91,000 in liquidity. Throw a soul in it and see what happens. If it goes to 10 million market cap, you just 10x your Solana. So, and by the way, I mean, this is really looking like a decent enough play out. Now, it's early. By the way, this is not, this is just the kind of pennant sort of playing out here. That doesn't mean that it's going to just absolutely rip, but it's a pretty good sign that it's about to have a little breakout and a little move to the upside. This is kind of what you want to see when you're looking at, and it's early. Anything early like this, you never really know exactly what's going to happen with one of these charts. Is the liquidity locked? There's a lot of investigation that you're going to need to do on this before you make your move. DEX score is 56 of 99. There's audit alerts over here. The audit alerts are scam risk detected. So, be very careful in what you're doing, whether the token has a risk scam. And it doesn't mean that it does, by the way. There's a lot of them that have, this kind of thing. Community Trust has 4 votes and it's at 1. The buy and sell tax, which means that they still control the contract. And it's not a honeypot. The contract looks like it's verified. I mean, let's go to Token Sniffer and see what happens. Let's take a shot at it and see if this shows up through Token Sniffer as anything valid. But it looks like it's ready for a breakout. If you're getting into by the way, if you are getting into any of these, by all means, make sure before you do it. And that doesn't come up. So, all right. Be careful. Oh, by the way, I do have a new project. I'm going to be in a couple days. I'm going to have actually. I'm going to have a soul checker that will be able to scan Solana. I forgot about this. I'm going to have one that's going to be able to scan Solana tokens, and it will tell us right away whether liquidity is locked, and it'll give us a rating, whether it's a scam risk or not. Somebody reached out to me, so. I'm not prepared to announce it yet, but we're going to be having, we'll be digging into Solana a lot deeper in the next little while. By the way, wasn't that Hobbs? Wasn't that Calvin and Hobbs? It's not even. It's somebody else's cat. God damn it. Oh, well. But anyway, so, yeah, I'd be very, very careful because the liquidity is not locked, and there's $91,000 sitting in there. That's a lot for somebody to be like, what am I going to do with this? So make sure if you got in early, make sure you got your original investment out and that you're riding on house money. I would also, if it moves up any more, take a little bit of profit out so you pay yourself, and then just kind of hold on and hope for the best. I would say the team's going to need to lock it for it to go any further. And the fact that they're not locking it right now, um, again, just be careful with what you're doing, because you never know when these things just kind of do their thing. Anyway, back to Terra. Excuse me. Back to Terra Classic. Ooh, it looks like Dog with Hat just ripped a little bit. It's up 5% now. So it looks like Solana is having a big time recovery, and we'll probably see Solana memes start to pump today. Anyway, so Duquan is starting to look a little more like a villain than he had previously. When my Luna video comes out today, you're going to see a new project. It's going to be called Lunk Metrics. We've used it a couple times, but I kind of broke down a little bit about what there is in the background of Lunk Metrics, and it gives us an idea. They're a tracking service, and we're going to deep dive into all of these different projects to see how they fit into this Terra Luna Classic ecosystem. And it's all being brought to you by Terra Casino, where you have gaming. These guys are looking to make sure that more people know. And since I'm out here talking every day about Luna Classic, they want to make sure that most people know about all of these other projects. So, it's important for people to know where they can go, where they can go in the Luna Classic ecosystem and do stuff. Yesterday we covered food. Day before we covered Terra Tritium. Today we're covering Lunk Metrics. There's just a bunch of different things in this ecosystem that we're going to start digging into to try to give people information so that they can make an informed decision on what they want to do as an investment into the Lunk ecosystem as we get closer. By the way, my proposal, if you didn't know, had been submitted to a team to see if they can come up with a method by which my wild ass idea for a repeg could actually be done. So they're investigating that right now. And if we know more, or if we get some information about it, and I know more, then I will inform you guys about what's next for Luna Classic. So now let's get into the charts and let's check out what is going on in this market, because things be getting wild, dog. All right, so Bitcoin is moving. RSI kind of overheated right now, moving its way back up above 50. So we broke down below this little trend line into the volume area. The new volume area is going to be at 69,007. Basically, it's 70,000. So it could be that we're going to make a play and move up there, but we should look at liquidity. And you can see right here that there's a lot of liquidity. We're kind of in the middle of the range here with a run up to 66,009, which I think we probably, I launched this about an hour ago. So let's see if we didn't go in there and attack that. So we attacked that entire amount of liquidity in that 69,000 pool. So all of that we were just looking at, we actually got in there, got it. And now it could be that we're looking again at more downside momentum in that 64,000 range, looking at larger time frames. The larger time frames tell us that we've gotten everything out of that range, other than just whatever's just kind of laying there waiting. So 64,000 still looks like kind of a hot spot. If the market allows it, then there will be a move towards that downside to get into those that 60 to 62, 63,000 range. You can see that there's 250 million, 289 million, pockets of 380 million. 382 million. What we need in order to go forward probably is what we're looking at right now. It's a long way with a little bit of liquidity along this way. Wrecking some people along the way won't be, it's not going to be that much money, but we got a long way to go to get to $1 billion, sitting at 72. And when you look out at the 1 year number, then you're seeing billions of dollars sitting in both directions. So it's really kind of irrelevant. It basically, 50-50, 60-40 splits at best. So we got that move up to 66,009. Now the question is, are we going to capitalize on 66.9 and continue the move up? And it looks like, through this move right here, there might be a little bit of resistance through 67. But 69,000 is not that far away, 70,000, if you will. is not that far away. So we could see just a big move coming at some point soon. Now, it looks like will probably come down. So when we've shown some weakness, that generally means that there's going to be some downward momentum. So we might see a little bit of downward pressure. We might see especially the U.S. market. U.S. market loves to manipulate. So either the U.S. market is going to bring it down into this little box down here, this little range right here, or they're just heading to 72,000 to knock out billions of dollars. And it's hard to predict right now. However, if I were betting, then I would be betting on the upward momentum, despite the fact that we're right here near the halving, that we're getting to this point that there should be a dip or something like that in it. The dips are a different sort of sentiment. That dip in the sentiment is because that's the way that it's been. It's the trend line of the FOMO buildup, and then the unknowledgeable, if you will, buying into FOMO. Well, they're not doing that right now. The ETFs are the ones that are primed and making that big move. So if the ETFs are the ones that are primed and making that big move, then I think it's the ETF. It's the ETFs that will keep this thing propped up a little bit higher than what we think. Doesn't mean that we can't come down here and test, but as soon as we come down here, if we come down into 60,000 or in this range of 60,000 for a test, then rest assured the next move is going to be a parabolic run up into this 80,000 range. If you see this thing dip down into 60,000, sell the house and go in. You know what I mean? Like that, it's just gonna be one of those fantastic sort of rips from there. Ethereum not showing as much strength because people are starting to get a little bearish on the ETF being approved. So we're not really seeing that big pop-off moment, which, by the way, would help carry the market. So we're not seeing that right now, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to reverse as we get a little bit closer. We're in April right now. Final discussion is going to be somewhere in May. So we have until May to figure out. I think May 13th, something like that. So if that happens, then, again, 4,000, 5,000. I mean, you got to think about where Bitcoin was, where Ethereum is. I mean, we're going to be an all-time high on Ethereum very, very quickly if we just get a nice little, just get some nice news that the ETFs are going to be approved. You know what I mean? So I'd be looking for an Ethereum move. Now, if it does, if it just like if it rips down to 60,000, then I would say that we're probably going to lose 3,000 on Ethereum for the moment, a short period of time. And then, it's going to be kind of weird what happens after that point. May 23rd, there we go. If Coinbase can create an L2, what's stopping BlackRock? Well, nothing. Nothing, in fact, is stopping them, except they don't want to manage something like that. I mean, that would be really what it is. Why would they want an L2? Why would they want one when they don't need anything? I mean, it doesn't do anything for them. The jury's still out on how you monetize, how you monetize Web3 in the best and most efficient way, especially for big businesses. I mean, video games, come on, that's not what we're going to do. Solana, 189.50, had a nice big move off of this low over here, which was that local low was 175.89, dipping down, and then just having a nice big rip all the way back up. Solana is showing a lot of strength right now. Solana is showing a lot of strength. Render coming back from that under $9. We were just talking a couple days ago for $10, but they don't need an L2 for tokenization. They don't need that. All they need are DApp protocols, and they don't need a blockchain for that. They just need to put it on an existing blockchain for that. And that's probably Solana or even Base as one of them. Most probably Base. So Solana had a nice little, Render fought for $10 after it broke down, and now it looks like it's coming back up. So it looks like AI might be kicking it off again. If we look down the list here, we're going to be looking for AI level stuff. Veracity. Somebody keeps asking about Veracity. It's up 2.5% on the day. 0.007. Remember, I think it was 7 cents that Veracity was at the all-time high back or was it 14 cents? Maybe it was 14. Let's go back here on the daily and see. 8.5. Okay, so 8.5. That's a 12x from where it is right now. That's going to be a pretty significant move. And it looks like the market really wants to rip. It really does look like it wants to run right now. We got 5IRE kind of trading sideways, still a new project. Aave not having the breakout. Still 210 is going to be the target for the end of the year. We got plenty of breakouts getting ready to happen. Cardano looks exactly like Aave. It's all moving with the market. API 3 moving a little more aggressively than the market. API 3 is ready for an absolute explosive breakout. Just a matter of time now. Arbitrum finally having that reverse that it's been looking for a few days now. Moving back into $1.47. I get a feeling that Arbitrum, by the way, based on volume, Arbitrum is going to have a massive move at some point pretty soon. ASM, somebody got me into ASM, and it is not working out at all. So far, I thought that it would be a little, I mean, it's retested, coming over here from the move here, like it's even past the fib retracement level. And so I'm not feeling really good about ASM right now. However, it could be that this thing is just waiting in the wings for a big move. So I'm going to hold on to it for a while and see what happens. Atom is about dead even for the day. Let's get to Luna Classic at 13,966. I said at the end of the year, 0.001 is going to be my goal for it for the end of the year, which is going to be about 10x from where it is right now. Not life-changing, but I think that's going to be the start of a nice little revival, if you will. And again, there's pieces going in place. Like, for example, if you haven't already, sign up for Weeks in the description down below, and you can start burning your own Luna Classic. It doesn't cost you anything. It's the fees, just like Binance. But Weeks is one of those non-KYC places where you can go and you just trade your Luna Classic and burn it. Buy high, sell low. Go long. Actually, I entered into a long position, I think, on Weeks. Let me oh, you know what? I didn't, because the money didn't transfer over. Shit. I was going to go into Luna Classic at 13,750 last night. And I did not get in, and the money just seemed like it was taking forever to transfer over. So I was like, and then I fell asleep. So, oh well. Myro, checking out Myro right now. Boom, 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 boom. Myro's got a nice big green candle for the day after those two big red candles for the last 2 days that this broader market had. We got that wick on the end, which generally means that it's upward momentum. Now, if we look at it from an upward momentum standpoint, it looks like we're heading higher. This lower move right here, we saw this. I told you guys that I saw, like, this is what we were looking at, and we were looking for that to break, right? Well, that broke and it came to the upside, so they will remove that, and we meant to remove that one. Now we're in this next area, which is kind of right here, where it just seems like this is the next big play. And I got to think that Myro is getting ready for something bigger. Like I get the sense here that we were meant for, and we didn't get there, but we were meant for this test right here at 50 cents. So I do think that we're still heading to 50 cents pretty soon. It just didn't go. The market just kind of dipped pretty hard at that point, and we didn't get that big upward momentum. If everything would not have led into that dip, we would have just kind of extended ourselves. Now, it would have been cause for a big correction. So, in the long term, it's actually not a bad thing, because if you look at it this way, there's the previous high. We're minting above the previous high, consolidating in range, and then that allows you to take that next big move. And look, at any point, Myro can take off. It's doing all the things that Dog with Hat was doing, and it's got kind of the same ecosystem setup. So it is entirely possible that Myro becomes the next $3, $4 meme token with multi-billion-dollar market cap for no reason other than the fact that it's just kind of sitting out there. So and then there it is. I mean, that's Dog with Hat right now, just kind of continuing, having a good day today. We got sold off as soon as it got to 420. Haha, I see you stoners. By the way, this is going to be 420 this month. So there you go, weed heads. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I guess we're in a pretty good spot, guys. I think this market is ready to soar. I think it's ready for that next move. The question now is, that sideways momentum. Buyers keep stepping in. The buyers that are stepping in are protecting those those long positions down in that 60,000, 62,000 range. If they're going to continue to protect that, then the next move is going to be a big upside push, which is going to push us maybe back out of range of getting to that 60 to 60. I mean, you see how hard it is. Just if you consider for just a moment how difficult it is to dump all of your crypto and get, the market moving in a certain direction. It's not hard to start it, but for the continuation of that right now, it is complicated. And it's complicated because the market doesn't want to do that right now. Buyers continue to step in and buyers continue to protect these floors, which, I mean, that's what you want them to do, obviously. But it's difficult because you're trying to, you're trying to make something happen here. You're trying to get that price down so that, new buyers step in, right? That's what you're looking to do. You want to get new buyers to step in, and the market is not allowing that right now. So, yeah, I mean, we'll kind of see what happens here, but it's difficult. Anyway, it's time for me to go. I'll be remote for a couple days, so I won't have my normal setup. We'll be doing a single cam sort of setup here for the next couple days, but thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's pay some bills here, and then we'll get you guys on to your day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's amazing that you take the time to come hang out with me for this hour every single day. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again very soon. Cryptonomy.finance just launched a research section, so make sure that you go check that out today. Learn a little bit more about crypto that you may not have known before. If you are a corporate client, you can have a relationship manager and a lot of customer support, superior OTC services, and institutional tools that will help you in your venture. Also, if you sign up for the VIP course, you can get in touch with high-touch wealth management personnel and a lot of different people and personalized information as you need in order to successfully navigate this crypto system. Also, if you look at my moves right now, you can see that I'm earning over 106 Solana on my last staking. My Tether, I'm going to earn 1,670 on my staking so far. You can see there's some of these I've earned $784. I can't cash out for a while, but I've earned $784 so far. And then in the launch pool, guys, if you haven't checked the launch pool out, you've got to check the launch pool. Look at these ROIs that I'm getting right now. It's fantastic. 20x on K9 Finance, 7x on Weave, on Block Jerk. If you put a stake into this system right here,